Dutch&DGunn, Derek Gunn of Comcast Sportsnet, and I am joined by none other than Darren Dutch Dalton. Dutch, thank you so much for being with us today. D, it's a pleasure, man. And, I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. Dutch, let's clear this out first for the listening public. Twitter handles, @TheFakeDGunn and @Fake_Dutch. Those are the Twitter handles for D-Gunn, Derek Gunn, Comcast Sportsnet, and Darren Dutch Dalton. Dutch, let's just start with this. What is wrong with the Phillies? Well, D, yeah, man, if I'm being honest, it's pretty simple. There's $60 million on the disabled list, man. That's as much as a lot of teams have for their entire payroll, and it's going to be tough for a team to bounce back from that. So, Dutch, you don't put any fault on Ruben Amaro. Well, D, I think Rube's done a nice job, man. And, that said, you'd like to see a better backup plan for Howard. There was time to prepare for that. And you'd like to see a better backup plan for Ott. Maybe they didn't know he was hurt, but, we saw it last year, and, that's something that maybe they should have been planning for, Dutch, all right, I appreciate what you're saying there, and I understand that you're not going to put the blame on Amaro, that you think that maybe he could have done a little more, but overall you're pleased. What about the manager of this team? How do you feel about what Charlie Manuel has done? Well, D, Charlie's done a nice job with this club for a lot of years. Got the first World Series since 1980, man. Yeah, that's something that even back when I was with the 93 team, man, we couldn't get it done. And it's tough, D, because the playoffs the last couple of years were a little lean, a little disappointing. You'd hope for more, but they just didn't get it done. But I do think that Charlie deserves at least the rest of this year. I think you got to let him get the ball club back intact, in full, to get Rhino back, to get Ut back, to get Doc back, to get them all back on the field, and see if this team can't squeak into one of those 2 wild card spots, because the division's kind of a pipe dream at this point, man. But I'll tell you, brother, I really do think that the job that Charlie's done has been underestimated. I've been a big fan of him from the beginning, and I think that Charlie deserves more credit than he's gotten for the way he's managed these players. Dutch, I appreciate that. I don't entirely agree. I think Charlie could have done more. I think Amaro could have done more. I think the players could do more. I don't think you can use injuries as the whole excuse for the way that this season has gone. I think they're a better team than that. They've still got 2 starters who are better than any 2 starters in the league, and one of them doesn't have a win yet. Yeah, man, boy, I hate to laugh, but that's rough. I feel bad for Cliff. Part of it's his own doing, part of it's a lack of run support. But overall, I do think that Cliff's pitched real well this year. And yeah, maybe this team can do more. Maybe they're not living up entirely to what they're capable of. But I think that a lot of bad things have gone down for this team so far, D. But I don't think it's over. I think it's far from over. And I think that overall, if you take the time to watch this team for the rest of the year, and I know it's been tough, I think they're going to rebound. Dutch, thank you so much for joining us, for joining D-Gunn, Derek Gunn of Comcast Sportsnet. Dutch, one last thing. Can we hug it out? Right on, D. Yeah, man, of course we can. As long as you're going to share a light lager with old Dutch at the end. Dutch, it would be a pleasure and an honor, and thank you so much on behalf of myself and the Comcast Sportsnet family for joining us. Again, I am Derek Gunn, D-Gunn. at the fake DGunn on Twitter. Dutch at fake_Dutch on Twitter. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.